The flood in Mokwa, a commercial hub in Niger State, claimed over 200 lives, with hundreds of others declared missing. Good day, viewers. Welcome back to DDM Health News Update on our program, Your Health, Your Wealth. You know, I often remind you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Diaspora Digital Media, so that you don't get the latest on health. So, what do we have today? An outbreak of diphtheria has been confirmed in Edo State, resulting in 2 fatalities. So sad. Well, the state's commissioner for health, Dr. Cyril Oshomole, revealed this on Tuesday in Benin, that is the state's capital, during an emergency response meeting. Well, the action followed confirmation from the University of Benin Teaching Hospital of 5 diphtheria cases, including the 2 deaths. You can imagine. The emergency meeting included representatives from WHO, UNICEF, local health bodies, and key partners tackling the unfolding public health threat. Oshomola described the outbreak as a serious cause of concern, warning of the infection potential severity if not treated quickly. He noted that diphtheria, a contagious bacterial infection affecting the nose and the throat, could cause severe complications or even death. The increase in case combined with rising threats like drug resistance and viral infections demands urgent coordinated efforts. Yes. Also, he outlined key strategies, including deploying a rapid response team, improving coordination, and boosting surveillance and contact tracing. Well, other priorities may include raising public awareness, just as we are saying here today, engaging communities, and ensuring vaccine availability and access. The commissioner praised UBTH for paying swift response and acknowledged ongoing support from health partners. He assured the public of the state government's commitment to containing the outbreak. That's very good. Citizens were advised to report symptoms early. Please don't forget, such as sore throat, fever, or breathing difficulty, and to avoid contact with sick individuals. Also, I urge people to stay calm but alert, very, very alert. This is not a time to panic, yeah, but to prepare, inform, and act responsible. I mentioned 3 things. This is not a time to panic, but to prepare. 1, to inform. 2, and to act responsibly. So please, take note. Don't forget. Any symptoms? Try to meet the hospital. In continuation, the Abia State government, through its Ministry of Health, issued an urgent health advisory regarding the outbreak of diphtheria in the neighboring Imo State. The State Commissioner for Information, Oke Kanu, disclosed this Monday while briefing newsmen on the outcome of this week's Executive Council, chaired by Governor Alex Oti. What a good neighboring. Kanu said, because Imo State is our neighbor, Imo is contagious to Abia State. There is need for Abians to take preventive measures to ensure that even if the disease spreads to the state, it will not cause much damage. What a great preparation. Like they say, prevention is better than cure. So, consequently, Abians are advised to ensure they take some preventive measures. So, these preventive measures will entail, yes, it will. You might ask how. Number 1, vaccination for children and vaccination for adults who are not sure of their health status or diphtheria status. Yeah. Number 2, it will also be for the parents. That is, parents must be vigilant during this period to ensure that any child who shows any symptom or onset of the disease is taken to the hospital immediately. There is a need for good hygiene during this period. Good hygiene practices, and this entails washing of hands frequently with soap and water, especially after coughing, sneezing, or handling, or even touching potentially contaminated material. So please, always wash your hand. It matters a lot with running water, with soap and running water. It will help a lot. Yeah. Also, I advise the citizens to cover their mouth or nose when coughing. Also, that they are to avoid close contact with individuals who are sick or show any symptoms of sickness. So the community needs to stay vigilant at this required time. Citizens are also advised to report any suspected cases of diphtheria. Like I've told you, the kind of symptoms you can get to suspect diphtheria. So, report to the local health authorities within your vicinities, or better said, to the State Ministry of Health. Yeah. Community leaders, religious leaders, teachers, and school authorities, as well as royal fathers, should help to disseminate this important information. You might ask, why traveling? How will you do this? Yeah, it's very cautious. On travel precautions, please, if you must travel or to to an affected area, or you're coming from an affected area, or you're going to an affected area, please ensure that your vaccination status is up to date. That is number one caution. You have to at least make sure it's up to date, because you have to disclose this to the Federal Ministry of Health, which would declare the state free of river blindness after 30 years of mass drug administration to continue the disease. They stated, with this declaration, Abia State has left the list of states where the disease was endemic for years. The commissioner used the opportunity to inform that the state government, through the state minister of transport, has established an enforcement team to ensure the driving against traffic that has become prevalent in our society. That is one-way driving. Also, the government has taken time to observe how this has become a menace in our states, particularly in Umahia and Abda. The government has decided to stop this scourge. How do you see that? So, driving against traffic is causing a lot of accidents across the state. And the time has come for corporate to be apprehended and deal with. So, don't fall victim, please. Also, the enforcement teams have already commenced operations at strategic positions and areas in Aba and Umahia, stating that it is important to observe that the enforcement of these rules will be very stringent, as offenders will be fined heavily and prosecuted as well. Yeah. And when you cannot pay your fines, your vehicle will be impounded. Yeah. Over time, if you don't pick up your vehicle, it will be auctioned. So they are going to be very stringent so that people will begin to learn how to conduct themselves, drive safely in our cities, and stop endangering the lives of other road users. Well, next. The National Emergency Management Agency says it has deployed its officials in 15 high-risk states to further enlighten residents on the impending floods and the need to relocate from flood-prone areas, saying victims of the tragedy in Mokwa, that is Niger State, lived in gully areas and were caught unawares by the recent flooding disaster in the state, despite official warning. So sad. You can imagine. Well, head of the press unit at NEMA, Manzo Ezekiel, said the states include Kogi, Imo, Enugu, Adamawa, Taraba, Bunu, Zamfara, Katsina, and the Federal Capital Territory, that is the FCT. He also lamented that many victims of the May 23